Time to talk about EMS workers who live in rural areas. Tough to find them. And New York State's Rural Ambulance Service Task Force has now put on their final member.
News 10 ABC's James De La Fuente taking a look at how this new task force will benefit the state's rural communities.
Over 40 New York counties are considered rural, which means they have a population of 200,000 or less. Yet the emergency medical services across the state continues to grow. The task force was created last year and is comprised of a 12-member team. The newest and final appointee is Dr. Marian Terenzio, President SUNY Cobleskill.
I am fortunate enough to learn from my faculty, all of whom are practicing paramedics. I see it up close and personal, their needs, how they train, and the impact that they have on our rural communities.
The task force will evaluate and provide guidance for rural EMS crews so they can provide more efficient services to those who may need it most.
One thing we're learning early on from the data is that there is a direct correlation between lower staff and higher response times. If we can find ways to increase the staff numbers, which is not a quick fix, we're hoping then that would alleviate some of the response times.
Ryan Greenberg, Director for Bureau of EMS and Trauma Systems, says the task force has many concerns.
Hard to staff, low call volume, increasing expenses, and possibly low reimbursement from insurance because you don't have a high call volume. What's going to fill that void, and how do you make that magic work?
Yet a few things stand out when it comes to the goals of the team.
This committee, this task force, is really going to be looking at things that's going to serve almost 2/3 of the counties in New York State. I think the biggest thing that, particularly the rural component that this task force is going to have to handle and really look at is the uniqueness of how rural New York State actually is.
The task force held their first meeting in February and will meet every 4 to 6 weeks to build the framework that will focus on rural needs throughout the state.
We can give a robust recommendation roster to the legislators that they can then act upon.
And the task force is set to meet again in April. Reporting in the Capital Region, James De La Fuente, News 10, ABC.